Test, test, test. Hopefully, we'll have a game for you soon.
Playing second base, batting fourth, number 8, Michaela Scoville. Designated player, batting fifth, number 10, Kenley Madison. Batting for number 19, Adelia. He plays left field. Playing center field, batting sixth, number 13, Steve Olman. Doing the pitching, batting seventh, number 18, Beverly Haven. Playing third base, batting eighth, number 14, Gabriel Vasquez. And playing right field, batting ninth, number 26, Reese Ugly. And for the visiting team, the Grand County Red Devils. Batting first is a pitcher, number 11, Paige Shumley. Batting second, playing right field, number 4, Haiti Packard. Batting third, doing the catching, number 8, Lexi Carroll. Batting fourth, number 24, playing left center field, Randy Johannan. Batting fifth, playing left field, number 21, Mitchell Toria. Batting sixth, number 14, playing shortstop, Rhea 10. Batting seventh, number 3, Chief Fryer. Playing second base, batting eighth, number 7, Allie Jones. Playing first base, batting ninth, number 10, Hope Shumway. Playing third base.
Welcome to 3A State Softball. Lachelle and Tyler Moss on the call. And for our first game of the day after a rain puddle delay, we have the Carbon Dinos and the Grand County Red Devils.
Yep, we experienced a little bit of Antarctica and Spanish fork this morning, and this has caused quite the delay. We've been shifting fields and making things work here. We're now on field 5, which moved from field 1
I think,
to 3 to 5 to now here we are. So,
and for those tuning in, 3A will be moving fields again after this. So right now we have another 3A game going on of South Summit and Emory, and we are getting ready to get started. We will have Haven Byerly will be in the circle for the Dinos. Last year she was a phenomenal pitcher as a sophomore, so coming back as a junior, exciting things for Haven.
Yeah, I was actually able to call quite a few of the Carbon games last year and during the state tournament, and she did an excellent job, so we're excited to kind of see what happens here with the rest of the group.
And for the Grand County Red Devils, they will start. Their first batter will be number 11, Paige Shumway, And she's also the pitcher for the Red Devils.
Well, pitcher against pitcher here, right off the bat.
And Paige will hit from the left side. And we'll see if she is a true lefty or going to get in for that slap hit. Here's the pitch. That one is outside, ball 1. And they're going to have a discussion with the pitcher. And while they're doing that, we will go to commercial and be right back. Oh, never mind.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Doctors B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Welcome back. We are still with the first batter. The count is 2-1 for Paige Shumway. And here's the pitch. That one swung on high, fly ball to the shortstop, and that will be out number 1. And that was caught by Brielle Sandoval.
Yep, and you can see that Brielle actually called off the third baseman, number 14, Gabrielle Vasquez. That was great communication because they were about to collide there.
Yeah, they were. That will bring up number 4, Haley Packard. She plays right field for the Red Devils.
Playing right field, number 4, Haley Packard.
And here's the pitch.
Jan Auto loves our
will
customers.
hit her, so Haley Packard earns herself a free base for the first base runner for the Red Devils.
Free base and a really hurt hand.
Yeah,
it looked like.
hit her right in the hand.
and shaking it out.
Byerly's thrown some heat, so that couldn't have felt great. That will bring up number 8, Lexi Carroll. She is the catcher for the Red Devils. That one high, ball 1.
Now batting doing the catching, number 8, Lexi Carroll.
And Bruno holds Packard at first base. And here's the pitch. That one low, ball 2. Bruno doing a good job keeping Packard at first. These two teams are region foes. That is a called strike 1. Count is 2-1. Carroll steps in the box. Byerly takes the sign. And here's the pitch. That one swung on high, foul ball for a called strike 2. Turning into a beautiful day for softball.
It really is. It's actually quite nice out there, and I think the dirt is probably dry now.
Drying out.
Welcome to Utah.
Yeah. Winter and summer in the same day.
Probably a 30-degree swing for us.
And here's the pitch. That one swung on foul ball. Great job by Carroll staying alive in the box.
She's battling hard in there, getting some good time there in the box to get a hold of it.
Count is 2-2. And here's the pitch. That one outside, ball 3, full count. We want to thank our sponsors for bringing us this broadcast. Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center, Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, San Pete Steel Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones and DeMille Engineering, and Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi.
Yep. Thank you to those sponsors for helping make this happen, bringing you 2A and 3A softball.
Here's the pitch. That one swung on foul. Carroll staying alive. Full count. Runner on first is Haley Packard. She was hit by a pitch.
I want to give credit to the catcher. That's Gia Bruno. She's handling that pretty well with some of the wild pitches.
Oh, that one swung and a miss, and Packard's gonna steal and reach second base safely. And great heads-up play by Packard. Nobody covering second, just a little too late, and she will advance.
And then I want to apologize to Gia Bruno for jinxing her because she didn't have anybody to throw to.
Well, that will go down as strikeout number 1 for Byerly. And that will bring up Lainey Bohannon, and 2 outs for the Carbon Dinos. And she is the center fielder for the Red Devils. Runner in scoring position for the Red Devils. Here's the pitch. Swung on, miss. Pretty little rise ball by Byerly.
I was just going to say that nice rise ball she swung on and got her high.
Here's the pitch. That one swung on, foul ball. Count is 0-2. Byerly ahead. We will be having softball all day, maybe all night.
Maybe all night with the weather delay.
About a 3.5 hour delay. That one high, ball 1. Great job by Bohannon laying off that one.
You could tell she kind of wanted to go for it again. It was a little bit more, another rise ball that are coming high. Everyone goes for the high ones.
Everyone goes for the high ones. Here's the pitch. That one. Check swing, and they will. She went. Called strike 3, and that will be 3 outs. We'll be back after this.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
It is the Grand County Red Devils and the Carbon Dinos. Score is 0-0 in the bottom of the first inning. In that top of the first, Haley Packard was able to reach on base with a hit by pitch, and then Byerly able to secure 2 strikeouts to end the inning. Ground might be a little muddy, so they're going to break it up a little bit for the pitcher.
Re-rake. Looks like they're going to use a bat. I'm not sure what's going on out there.
Well, I think she's going to get the mud off her cleats.
Yeah, there it is. That makes more sense. I wasn't sure what he was doing.
Wow, very innovative, right?
They brought out a really nice bat, and then they're like, no, don't use that bat. Use this other bat. Oh, okay.
For the Carbon Dinos, batting in the first spot will be Molly Horsley, the third baseman.
For the Carbon Dinos, playing first base, number 12, Molly Horsley.
this is just going off memory. I don't have the stats here in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that Horsley was an excellent batter last year. She's batting .403 of 26 games played, which is pretty good batting average there.
And here's the pitch by Shumway, the left-handed pitcher. That's a swung on a miss. Great pitch by Shumway.
Just underneath that pitch, Horsley getting a good look at the pitcher for the first time.
These two teams pretty familiar with each other and in the same region. And that's a called strike 2. Another great pitch. Horsley will have to protect. We'll see what Shumway throws her. Oh, and there's a swing and a miss for called strike 3, and the first out of the inning for the Grand County Red Devils.
She wanted that as the same pitch as the first one, and swung on and missed on.
That will bring up number 15, Brielle Sandoval, the shortstop. Here's the pitch. That one a little high, ball 1. Shumway on the mound. And they're going to call her for an illegal pitch. So ball 1.
So, Lachelle, on an illegal pitch like that, what is it? The count just resets, or how do they?
No, so that's a ball.
Another ball.
Yeah.
Right. So two balls.
From my understanding, yes.
Makes sense.
May have to ask her. That one high, ball 3. 1 out. 3 balls, no strikes for Sandoval. And here's the pitch. Ooh, that one looked pretty good. Little high. Must have been high for Sandoval will take her base.
Sandoval seemed to very, very confident. I know that's kind of what they teach you. You know, watch that ball come through and just toss your bat and take your base.
Gia Bruno, the catcher for the Dinos. There's a strike 1.
Looked high and inside. It was right there, top corner.
Both pitchers doing a good job utilizing those corners. Here's the pitch. That one swung and a miss. Strike 2. Sandoval on first. She got there on a walk. Here's the pitch from Shumway. Oh, another pretty pitch. Strikeout number 2 for Paige Shumway.
Right down the pipe. Bruno really wanted that pitch.
That will bring up the cleanup batter, number 8, Michaela Scoville, and she plays second base for the Dinos. Here's a pitch. Pretty pitch by Shumway. Here's the pitch by Shumway. Oh, she got her to chase. Strike 2.
High and outside, but she wanted it.
She did. Here's the pitch for Shumway. Oh, and great job by Scoville. She's able to foul that one off. Very inside pitch, but she able to get it.
She turned on it, and looks like she kind of hurt her wrist trying to get that pitch to get hit there.
Here's the pitch from Shumway. She gets the sign. That one high. Great job by the catcher, Lexi Carroll, to keep Sandoval at first. count is 2-1, or sorry, 1-2. Oh, another swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 3 for Paige Shumway. We'll be back with the top of the second.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. You are watching the Grand County Red Devils and the Carbon Dinos on Centricom Channel 10. And the score is 0-0. We are at the top of the second inning, and kind of interesting. Looked up the score for these two teams in the regular season. The first meeting, Carbon beat Grand 17-1. And then the second meeting, Grand beat Carbon 4-2. So these two teams split with each other, very familiar. So this could be a barn burner.
It could be. Definitely. I'd be curious how many games between those two, to see that improvement like that kind of turn. And I realize, softball is softball, and sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off, but definitely a difference in those two. So splitting in the regular season, we'll see where this turns out.
So the loser of this will go down into the loser's bracket and have to make their way back around. And the winner will go on to play scheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m. And that first pitch is a called strike 1 for Portia Mitchell.
Right on the inside corner.
And Mitchell plays left field for the Red Devils. Here's the pitch. That one swung and missed. Strike 2. Seems like both pitchers on both teams finding their groove, throwing it in there.
Yes, finding their groove for sure.
Here's the pitch. That one a little high. Good job by Mitchell of laying off. Race Moss, if you're listening, lay off the high ones. Everybody loves the high ones. Here's the pitch. That one swung and a miss. And then they miss by the catcher, but then they throw out down to first, so that will be out number 1. And that still goes as a strikeout.
Dropped. Third pitch, third strike. It looked like it had hit the bat from our angle. I couldn't really tell. I thought he might have called dead ball at some point, but she ran, so.
That will bring up number 14, Rye Wren. She is the shortstop. And that is a missed strike 1.
Beautiful pitch right there. Just one of those ones you want to reach. She didn't really have to reach for it.
Yeah, nice inside pitch.
Just right there inside. Kind of had to jump out of the way to try and get it.
Here's the pitch. Oh, great pitch again. Strike 2.
Almost the exact same spot, just a little higher there.
And here's the pitch by Byerly. That one swung and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Byerly, the second of the inning.
Great pitches right down there. She knew exactly where she needed to go.
I wish we had a speed gun.
I do too. She's pitching
That'd be
really fast.
That'd be fun to track their speeds. 2 outs for the Carbon Dinos. It is 0-0 in the bottom of the top of the second inning. We will try to get an updated score for you on the rest of these. That's a swing and a miss, strike one. And this is Trinity Bryant. And she plays second base. Here's the pitch. That one right down the pipe, strike two.
Byerly seeming to get, again, like we mentioned earlier, she's right in her groove, just throwing pitches, getting some strikes.
Here's the pitch. That one a little inside. Ball one.
Pretty close.
Count is 1-2. And here's the pitch. That one's swing and a miss for strikeout number 3 of the inning. And that will bring us to the bottom of the second when we come back.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Jones and DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richmond.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. It is 0-0 in the bottom of the second inning. For the Carbon Dinos, this will be Tenley Madsen, the designated player. Here's the pitch, strike one.
That's the same pitch that Byerly was throwing, right?
Those are some nasty pitches on that inside.
I agree.
And there's strike two by Shumway. She's feeling it as well. Madsen, a senior for the Dinos. Here's the pitch by Shumway. That one is swing and a miss. Shumway goes to the outside corner, and she gets Madsen swinging.
Score update for you over on field 6 on the 2A side with Duchesne and Altamont. 4-1 for Duchesne.
Stevie Oman up for the Dinos. She plays center field. She's a senior as well. That one fouled off, strike one. I'm pretty sure Shumway had a sister on the team last year, and they'd switch back and forth pitching, so I think her sister must have graduated.
I believe you are correct.
That one, inside pitch, and Oman hits that one foul. Shumway ahead in the count, 0-2.
Great response by Oman not to turn on that one.
Here's the pitch. That one swung on foul, and that was Hope Shumway trying to get there, unable to. Baseball, state baseball going on as well. So check out your team score. Oh, and that one caught the outside corner, and Oman will go down looking.
Credit the catcher.
Yeah, that was a great spot by her.
Yeah.
Squeezing that pitch, framing it. That is strikeout number 5 for Shumway. Other than a walk, she's thrown a great game. Haven Byerly will be batting, the pitcher for the Dinos. That one inside, ball one. here's the pitch. And that one a little high as well. Ball 2. And here's the pitch. That one low. Ball 3. 3-0 the count. Shumway's got to battle back right here. Each team has had one base runner. Here's the pitch. That one's strike 1. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one ball 4, so Byerly will take her base. I'm thinking we will see a speed up for her.
Byerly's patience paid off in that. I'll give her that much. She waited for the right pitch. Nothing came. Did have a strike there, but able to just wait it out.
And Richards will come in for her as a speed up for the pitcher. So Carbon gets themselves a base runner, and Gabby Vasquez will come up to bat. She's the third baseman, number 14, and she's a junior.
And coaches get squared away. Here we go.
That one will be a called strike 1. Here's the pitch. That one a little high. Great job by Carol keeping that runner on first.
Grant's doing a great job in holding those base runners.
Oh, foul ball, strike 2. Count is 1-2. And here's the pitch for Shumway. 2 outs for the Grand County Red Devils. That one high outside. 2-2. Shumway would love to put this batter away and get her team back up to bat. And here's Shumway's pitch. That one's swing and a miss for out number 3, strikeout number 6 for Paige Shumway. We'll be back with the top of the third inning.
Jones and DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. It is the top of the third inning. 0-0 is our score. We have seen a lot of strikeouts and not much else.
Yep, it's been a battle of the pitchers here in our first game of the 3A State Tournament in Spanish Fork. See if they can get some base runners around. I think the furthest they've gone is the second.
Yes, yep. Grand did have a runner in scoring position. Haven Byerly with 5 strikeouts so far, and Paige Shumway with 6. So pitchers doing their jobs.
Yep.
Allie Jones will start off for the Red Devils, and she is the first baseman. And here's the pitch. Strike 1. Have to wait a
right
second.
Down the pipe.
Have to wait a second for the umpire.
From my angle, it was right down the pipe. I just figured I'd wait
Yeah.
to say anything because we aren't sure.
Here's the pitch. That one swung and a miss. A great pitch. High and inside.
Byerly keeps pitching that same high and inside pitch, and they're all falling for it.
She'd get me.
She'd get me. And I think Shumway's been trying to.
She'd
been
get me
throwing
too.
that same
Oof.
thing too, and then she throws that outside pitch and throws everybody off.
That one swung and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for the 3rd inning for Haven Byerly.
Out number 1.
That will bring up Hope Shumway. Maybe a relative of Paige, I'm sure, somehow. Sister, cousin, friend,
totally possible. In these 2A, 3A teams, that's
small
the
towns,
nature of them, yep.
Here's the pitch, and Byerly got Hope.
High and inside again. Great pitch.
Hope is the 3rd baseman for the Red Devils. If you're just tuning in, games were delayed by about 3.5 hours due to puddles on the field. And there's the bunt.
And caught.
And Bruno caught it. So out number 2. Great, just right where she was.
So Shumway attempted to, it was kind of a middle bunt, slap bunt sort of thing. Went up in the air.
Yeah,
and
she bunted foul and right into Bruno's
right into
hand.
Bruno's mitt. Literally right into her mitt. Literally. I'm sure you saw it on the screen, but it was awesome.
And that brings up Paige Shumway, the pitcher. She flew out to the shortstop, her first at bat. Ball 1.
Back to the top of the batting order, right?
Yes. Here's the pitch. That one high. Ball 1, or ball 2, sorry. 2-0 the count. Battle of the pitchers. Here's the pitch. That one outside. 3-0's the count.
Throwing that same pitch, but on a lefty. Not quite working out for her.
Byerly, a right-handed pitcher. Shumway left. Here's the pitch. That one outside, ball 4. So Shumway finds her way on the base. And she will stay and run the bases. That brings up number 4, Haley Packard, the right fielder. Both teams taking some big swings at the ball, just unable to connect. That one, a big swing and miss, strike 1. Byerly takes the sign from the coach in the dugout. Steps on the mound. And a big leadoff. Oh, and they're gonna get Shumway for leaving the base early. And that will be out number 3. And in softball, as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, you can go, and she just took off a little bit early.
Yep.
Well, that will be the 3rd out of the inning. We'll be back with the bottom of 3.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. It is the bottom of the 3rd inning. Our score is still 0-0. And if you're just tuning in, Grand was able to get a runner on first, but then caught stealing, left the base early for the 3rd out of the inning.
We had to clarify that. We weren't sure how to mark that, statistically track that. It's caught stealing. So they time it, so you'll watch their swinging and.
Well, they usually, as soon as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, you can go. She just left a little bit early, and that brings up number 26, Reese Ardohane, the right fielder, and she's going to get a base hit right over second base, and that will be the first hit of the game for either team.
So she set up right in the back of the box, and almost on purpose. That was great. Just popped it right over the pitcher. Nobody there to field that and able to get on base.
Yeah, great little spot by Ardohane. She's a junior, and that brings us back to the top of the batting order, number 12, Molly Horsley. And here's the pitch. That one looks good and is good. Strike one. And here's the pitch from Shumway, runner on first. That one high, ball one.
Both pitchers and catchers especially, still able to hold those runners on base pretty easily.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of wild pitches, so both catchers doing a great job. Mm-hmm. That one low, ball two.
It's been a handful of those low and high, but these catchers are doing a great job, both teams.
2-1. I'm going to try to get you a score update on our other 3A game. That one, inside low pitch, great spot by Shumway, swing and foul, so 2-2 is our count. All these games being broadcasted on Centricom, Local 10.
Your 2A and 3A baseball are also being broadcasted, but just the championship bracket in those locations. Those are being streamed on Centricom Local 10, local10.centricom.com. So.
Full count for Horsley, no outs. That one's swing and a miss for out number one of the inning. That is the 7th strikeout by Shumway. And that will bring up Brielle Sandoval. She was walked in the first inning. And here's the pitch. There's the bunt.
Low pitch, but
I'm guessing ball.
Carroll able to wrangle that up.
Here's a pitch by Shumway. That one's swing and a miss, and that's a big swing by Sandoval. 1-1 the count. Trying to score Ardohane on first with that base hit. Here comes the pitch. That one high. Great snag by Carroll.
Quick score update for you. South Summit versus Emory, the other 3A game going on. South Summit up 2-0. Bottom of the 4th, I think, is what they're in now.
That one is a foul ball, strike two. 1 out, 1 on base. Here's Shumway in the circle. Another hit, but caught by the center fielder, Lainey Bohannon. That one looked like it was going to drop, and Bohannon had a good jump on it and able to catch it for out number 2.
Bohannon was ready for that. You could just see her out in the field. She was paying attention. Sometimes at games like this, you kind of get a little lackadaisical, but she just jumped right up there, ready to catch it.
Gia Bruno up for the Dinos. That one ball high. Shumway with the pitch. That one foul. 1-1 the count. Ardohain still on first. We've seen more action this inning.
I was just watching Carol on the catcher. She tore that mask off, I think, faster than I've ever seen anybody yet. It was amazing. She's quick.
That one outside.
Speaking of wild pitches, we hadn't seen many of
Ball
those.
two.
That was a foul off, but she was quick.
2 outs. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. That one's swing and a miss. Strike 2. They're going to try to get Ardohain, but she makes it safely back to first. 2-2 the count. Bruno struck out her first at bat in the first inning. Here's the pitch. That one a little high, full count. This one, it looks, is probably going to be a run no matter what on first. That one's swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. It is still 0-0 as we head into the fourth.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
Welcome back to 3A Softball. We want to thank our sponsors here on Local 10. Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, San Pete Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones and DeMille Engineering, and Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi. Thank you to those sponsors for making this happen. 2A and 3A softball here in Spanish Fork.
Yeah, we have such great sponsors from our small town communities, and they make this possible for us to come up and bring you the games when you can't be here in person.
Yep, it's a great sponsorship. We love our local communities and everything they do, and the businesses and sponsors there. So thank you to them.
So Haley Packard will come to bat again. She was up to bat as when Shumway left the base early for that third out. There's some exciting action on this other field. Wow.
That's the
grand slam save over
grand
there.
Slam
Jumped
save.
over the
Wow.
fence.
Wow.
We got to have some of those over here.
That's some amazing softball there.
Yeah. Here's the pitch to Packard. Swing. Strike 1.
And Byerly continues the battle of the pitchers.
Mm-hmm. Byerly takes the sign from the dugout. Here's the pitch. That one, swing and a miss. Strike 2.
That's her go-to pitch. I know we keep saying that, but that's it. And they're all biting.
Very good at hitting those corners. That one high, trying to get her to chase. She doesn't go for it. Ball 1. Byerly in the circle. Here's the pitch. And that will be strike 3. Swing. Packer goes down swinging for out number 1. We have one hit in the game. That was last inning by Reese Ardohain. No hits by Grand, able to get a runner hit by pitch and a walk. That one outside, ball 1. And this is Lexi Carroll, the catcher. Number 8. So the winner of this game will play tomorrow at, we don't know, maybe 10 a.m. I don't know. But they'll play tomorrow, the winner of South Summit and Emory. The loser will go down the loser bracket and play again today against Morgan.
Correct. We'll try and keep you up to date on all the bracket changes, field changes as we know.
That one a strike as well, so 1-2 the count. For those of you coming to Spanish Fort, 2A will be on the West Complex, and 3A after this game will all move to the main complex. East. I don't know what it's called. East. Main. That pitch is a ball. 2-2 is the count. Carroll's in the box. 2-2 the count. 1 out. That one a little low. Full count. Here's the pitch by Byerly. Full count. And she will walk, so Carroll able to get herself on base for the Red Devils. That will bring up Lainey Bohannon. We saw her with an outstanding catch in center field.
Center field, number 24, Lainey Bohannon.
Bohannon struck out her first at bat. Here's the pitch. That one, strike 1. Caught that inside corner. Carbon is the number 1 ranked team in 3A Grand, the number 9.
And they're battling it out here. We're in the
top of the 4th inning.
Of the 4th. If you're just tuning in, not much action, just pitcher versus pitcher with strikeouts and a couple walks. 1 hit.
That one swung on to the third baseman. They will get her at second, but she will be safe at first. And then they will throw her out at second for the 3rd out of the inning. So Carbon able to get themselves out of an inning as we have a 5-1 out. And then I think it was the right fielder that was a great backup that came over and threw it to second. So we'll be back with the bottom of the 4th.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody of Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork. Quick score update for you. The South Summit Emory game is still 2-0, so South Summit leading. 2A, Duchesne Altamont. Duchesne is up 9-1 in the top of the 4th, and we are in the bottom of the 4th here with Carbon and Grantsville. Sorry, Grand. 0-0. And over on the other field behind us here, we've got a score of 4-1 for, I'm not sure.
It's Parowan and Gunnison.
Parowan Gunnison. Sure.
I think it's Parowan, but I'm not
up
sure.
4-1. We'll double check that.
So that will bring up Michaela Scoville for the Carbon Dinos. Carbon able to escape that inning with a out at second, and then a wild throw, and the runner tried to make it to second, and then she was thrown out. So Grand will be back in the field.
Oh, there it is. Parowan 4, Gunnison 1 in that other field.
There's a bunt and foul, so strike one for Scoville. Softball's kind of changed. In years past, you've seen a lot of small ball played, but we've just seen some big swings from both these teams so far. That one, swing and a miss, strike two. Shumway ahead, 0-2 in the count.
As you know, looking into that more, I was going to mention that kind of the top of the third is a shift in huge swings, because I think each of the teams are trying to score a little. They need some points, and they need some action here, and there's some big swings and misses and strikeouts, but if one of these connects, it makes the game 0-0 right now, and that's the game changer right there.
Strikeout number 9 for Shumway.
Wow, 9 strikeouts. It's awesome.
That ball is swung on and fouled. Foul ball. And this is Tenley Madsen, number 10, the designated player. And here's the pitch by Shumway. Swing and a miss. Shumway ahead of both of these batters. 0-2. Here's the pitch by Shumway. And another strikeout for Shumway, number 10, as Madsen goes down swinging. I'm just super impressed with these pitchers. You know, Carbon, the number 1 seed, and Grand, the number 9. You know, Grand's not playing like a 9 seed to me, so you can just tell how sometimes the RPI is great, and sometimes it's not.
I agree. This is a 1 and 2 game here, it seems to me. Pitcher versus pitcher.
And there's a swing and a hit to the second baseman, and she fields it cleanly. And that was Trinity Bryant for out number 3. And we'll be back with the top of the 5th inning.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. It is 0-0, top of the 5th inning. We have the Carbon Dinos and the Grand County Red Devils. My partner has had a brain fart.
Speechless. Just speechless. 0-0 here.
This game is just real good.
It's definitely a defensive battle here.
Yes, very, very much. All it takes is one team to get a little hot, and
this is, I mean, you're coming into these innings where one good hit makes a difference, and it's going to be someone will connect. I think they're getting a good feel again, back in the game, getting warmed up. The delay may have challenged some of the batting, but definitely not the pitching. They got in the zone for sure, had plenty of time to get in the zone with the delay.
So this will bring up number 21, Portia Mitchell. She struck out her first at bat in the second inning. So her second time facing Byerly. And Mitchell is the left fielder. That pitch inside, ball one. Here's the pitch by Byerly. That one, a big swing and a miss. Strike one.
There it is right there, the big swings. Waiting to see the change in the game here for somebody. One of these teams will make it happen here.
That one looked good and is good. Strike two. I haven't seen a lot of changeups thrown for either of these pitchers. You know, their fastball, it's working for them, so they're throwing it. And I guess don't fix it if it ain't broke. Yep. So 1-2 the count. That one is
swing and a miss.
I thought that was strike three, but one of those must have been a ball.
Ball. 2-2.
2-2.
Now.
Here's the pitch. And that one is a called strike three as Mitchell goes down looking for the first out of the inning. Ree Wren will come to the plate. She is a shortstop. She struck out her first at bat in the second inning as well. And there's a swing and a miss by Wren. Strike one. Here's the pitch. That one looked good as well, so strike two. That one right down the pipe.
Right down the pipe. Meatball. Thought for sure.
We can say that. We're not up to the plate.
Very easy for us to say.
Here's the pitch. That one high, ball one. 1-2 the count for Wren. Byerly takes the sign from the coaching staff. And here's the pitch. That one, swing and a miss for strikeout number 8 for Byerly.
So there we go. Byerly with 8 strikeouts. We've got probably, I think it was 10.
10 for Shumway. Next up, after this game is over, we will have Manti and Canyon View, as well as Grantsville and North Sanpete for your 3A games. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and this is Trinity Bryan up to bat. She struck out in the second inning.
And if you're following this here in Spanish Fork in person, we've been told that the 3A match will be moved back to the main complex.
That one's strike two, another swing and a miss. Byerly throwing the heat.
Byerly ahead in the count there, 0-2.
Here's the pitch. Ooh, that one looked good, a little high. Bryant is the second baseman for the Red Devils. And here's the pitch, and that one is swung on and missed as well for the third. Out of the inning, strikeout number 9 for Byerly. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork as we continue the 2A and 3A softball tournament, the first games here. I don't think we're quite wrapped up with any of the games. Some of them started a little bit sooner than this one and others, but just because of the rain delay. But we want to do a quick sponsor. Thanks to our sponsors, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, Sandpeat Steel in Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Jones and DeMille Engineering, and Town and Country Home Mortgage in Nephi.
Here's Shumway with a pitch to Byerly. That one high, ball 1. Interesting enough, both of the pitchers have walked each other.
That isn't very interesting, actually.
Struck out everybody else.
Striking out everybody else, but they're patient enough they can walk.
That one's strike 1.
Another meatball.
Yeah.
I admire their patience, though. Those are ones you just swing at.
That one swung and missed by Byerly, so strike 2, 1-2 the count.
Got to swing at that. That's a strike down the middle again.
Byerly was walked in the second inning. Here's the pitch by Shumway. That one swung and a miss. Strikeout number 11 for Paige Shumway.
Shumway breaks the walking and strikes Byerly out.
And that will bring up number 14, Gabby Vasquez. She struck out in the second inning. Just her second time facing Shumway. Here's the pitch. That one's swing and a miss.
Again, I want to point out the shift in the, a little calm in the first couple innings, really wanting it. Now they really want it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wants to score.
Yep. That one high, ball 1.
These games are hard to keep that grit in there. 0-0 and bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, you start to get a little antsy. Woo, that one looked good. Strike 2.
I'm sure the coaches are, pulling out anything they can to get their team stay motivated. And
yep.
All it takes is one.
Foul ball by Vasquez. She finds it. 1-2 the count.
Vasquez now felt good on that. Get that foul off and connect. That's all she's got to do.
That one high. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That one outside. Full count to Vasquez, the third baseman.
Shumway, you could tell on that pitch she kind of lost her balance a little bit wild there.
Here's the pitch. That one outside, so Vasquez will earn herself a base on a walk. And that's the first base runner we've seen from Carbon since the second inning. And that will bring up Reese Ardohane, and she is our lone hit of the game.
She's hoping to
do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. That one low, ball 1.
I'm sure Shumway's out there thinking, I don't really want to give her anything good again here. This is risky here.
Here's the pitch. That one a strike. 1-1 the count with a runner on first.
And she proves me wrong. Gives her a really good one.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, foul. 1-2 the count. Ardo Hain hit it right over second base. Her last at bat. And that one, she gets her swing in, and she goes down for out number 2 of the inning.
A little bit of pressure there on Ardo Hain, I'm sure. You know, coaching staff is, even the rest of the team's like, hey, you're the one that got the hit.
Yeah.
Get the hit now. It's your turn. Do it again. It's hard.
And that brings up the top of the batting order, Molly Horsley, number 12. She hits that one foul for strike 1. And that's Vasquez on first. She earned herself a walk. And here's, ooh, that was close. She was able to get out of the way for ball 1.
Those ones get your heart pumping.
Yeah. Yeah,
As
these
she
pitchers
jumps out
are
of the
not
way.
throwing slow, that's for sure. So
No, they're not.
that would hurt. Here's the pitch. And that's the first wild pitch we have seen by Shumway. So Vasquez gets herself into scoring position. And it looks like we may have a speed up substitution, I guess, for Vasquez. They want to get someone extra speedy in there to try to score. Make something happen.
If Horsley can get a good hit here, they'll bring that speed runner in, number 5.
Jenna Richards, we've seen her run for Byerly.
Yep.
And she proves herself speedy, I guess.
Yep.
We are in the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-0 score, 2 outs. Runner on second. And the count is 2-1. And here's the pitch from Shumway. That one, Horsley able to make contact, fouls it off. 2-2. Runner on second. Ooh, that one high. Full count for Horsley. Big pitch right here for Shumway.
Huge pitch.
Oh, 2-2?
Trying to stop any progression. No, it looks like 3-2. Well,
he's calling 2-2. So
Ump's calling 2-2.
Fouled it off. And Shumway looking to get herself out of this inning. And here's the pitch. Ball 4. I have it as ball 4, but he's got full count.
He's saying full. She knew. He's got a different count than we've got, so we'll go with that.
He's the man.
Horsley thought for sure she was walked. Oh. Still 3-2 count.
Here's the pitch.
Oh.
She's able to keep herself alive. Horsley doing a great job at bat.
That's a lot of pressure. She literally just running to the base had left all that,
So Horsley still up to bat. Oh, and they're going to get a strikeout. So Molly Horsley goes down for the third out of the inning, and Grand escapes that one. It is 0-0 heading into the top of the sixth inning.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 2A and 3A softball. We're here in the top of the sixth.
Yep. We will have our 8-9-1 batters for Grand.
8-9-1 with a score of 0-2-0. Carbon just about had something going there for a second with a runner in scoring position and a final strikeout there. Grand able to shut that down and reset.
Yes, and that will be Allie Jones will come to the plate for the Red Devils. She struck out in the third inning, the second time facing Byerly. 10 strikeouts in the day for Byerly. 13 for Shumway. Here's the pitch. Swung on foul ball for Jones.
Quick score update for you on the 2A side. Duchesne 12-3 over Altamont. They're in the top of the fifth.
Oh, we caught up. They started before us, too.
They did. Well, when you're striking out
everybody
you're going to catch up. Not a lot of action going on. So, yeah, strikeouts and a couple walks is going to be
quick game.
Quick game. Even though it feels slow, it's pretty quick.
Strike two, swing and a miss. 0-2 the count for Byerly. And here's the pitch. That one swung on a little high, but got her to chase for the first out of the inning.
How many strikeouts is that now for her?
11.
11?
Yep.
11 and 12?
13.
11 and holy smokes. That's...
They're bringing the A game.
Bringing their A game, those pitchers, which is a great feat. When it comes to
state is when you want to bring it. So,
yep.
Hope Shumway up. She hit a foul ball, and the catcher caught it her last at bat. And that's a swing and a miss. Strike one. Shumway swings that one foul. She is down 0-2 in the count. Shumway looking to find herself on base for the for the Red Devils. 1 out. Byerly looking to sit her down. Ooh, that one. Strike 3 right down the pipe.
And that will sit her down. That's, right down the meatball of a pitch there.
That one you wish you could have a do-over.
And she was caught looking, right?
Yep. So Paige Shumway will come to the plate. She flew out.
Quick score update
And
for
was
you on the 2A side. Sorry about that, Michelle. Parowan 7 over Gunnison 1. So Parowan 7.
And Shumway gets a hold of that one, and it's going to go over the right fielder's head. She's going to second, and she will hold. So Shumway earns herself a double, and that's what Grand needed.
And I'm sitting here giving you a score update.
Yeah, come on. We don't care about that.
No, we don't. Great hit.
Let's tell you to be quiet.
Just hit me next time.
Haley Packard will come to the plate for the Red Devils. Shumway in scoring position. She is quick. Base hit may score. And there's a foul ball hit. Strike 1. Only 2 hits in the game. Carbon with a single and now Grand with a double. Here's Packer. Here's the pitch. That one swung and a miss. That one looked like a drop ball.
Great pitch by Byerly to catch her off guard there. This is where you may see a few of those change-ups or things like that to throw them off.
Here's the pitch. Woo! Inside. Close. Ball 1.
She didn't even flinch. She just stood there.
I think she thought maybe they were going to call strike. We don't have the best angle.
I can't see from right here, I guess.
The plate,
but it
the
looked
inside
like it was
corner.
Looked like it was going to hit her leg.
Oh, and Packard hits it, but right to the first baseman for the 3rd out. So Carbon escapes, and it is 0-0 as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-0 is our score between the Carbon Dinos and the Grand County Red Devils. Barn burner.
Barn burner. Grand with a double in the last at bat there. Just some of those efforts are so hard to overcome because you make that effort and then it's just 3 outs.
And this will bring up Brielle Sandoval, number 15, the shortstop for the Dinos. Facing Paige Shumway. Here's the pitch. That one right down the pipe. Strike 1. Love to see Sandoval take that one for a ride.
I would have loved to see that as well.
And there she goes. That ball will drop in front of the right fielder. So Sandoval gets a double or a single to start off the inning for the Carbon Dinos.
Speaking of taking it for a ride, hit it right between the right fielder and center fielder and able to get a single there.
And that will bring up Gia Bruno, the catcher, 0 for 2 on the day. Love to get herself a hit right now. We only have an inning and a half left in the game. Here's the pitch. That one's swing and a miss by Bruno. Here's the pitch by Shumway. That one, swing, big swing, strike 2 for Bruno.
Nice little bit of a rise ball there for Shumway, and Bruno bit hard.
That one's swing and a miss as well, so Bruno goes down swinging for out number 1. With Sandoval standing on first. That will bring up Michaela Scoville, second baseman. And there's the bunt. She shows. And Shumway, smart choice. Bruno already at second, and the sacrifice bunt by Scoville will put the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, very, very smart play there. You know, bringing this is the time to do that. You're 0-0, get some points on the board, and
you got to do what you got to do to advance those runners.
Yep, advance the runner and sacrifice. That's the whole team effort there that you got to recognize.
And Tenley Madsen comes to the plate. That ball swung on. Will it drop? It will, and it will score. Sandoval and Madsen, big at bat for the Carbon Dinos.
Nice. That was an excellent hit over there to right field. Just it looked like it was going to sail for a second, but it just dropped. Just kind of lame duck, just hit the ground and able to bring in that runner.
And we're up here, so it doesn't look like the wind's blowing, but that was a high hit ball, and it dropped right in front.
It did. Wind is not blowing.
And we will have another substitution, number 27. Taylor Secker will come in to run for Tenley Madsen.
Another one of their quick runners, I'm sure.
And that will bring up Stevie Oman. So we've seen 2 hits so far in the inning for the Dinos. Shumway with it. Strike 1. Big leadoff by Secker.
Very quick leave the base there, and she's about halfway to third almost there.
Yeah, you'd love to get a 2-run cushion going into that top 7th inning. And here's the pitch. That one swung on foul. Strike 2.
Oman can really read those pitches, especially on that inside. She's able to turn on those really well.
You know, Oman, 28 RBIs on the season. She's a big hitter for the Dinos. Woo, that one looked good. A little outside.
That looked like a great pitch from here. Pretty close.
Shumway needs to get herself out of this inning before any more damage is done. Here's the pitch. That one outside. Secker, she's getting a big lead over there.
Shumway's pitch a little bit wild there and kind of got like she off balance a little bit on that last pitch.
Here's the pitch. Low, full count. Good at bat by Oman.
Full count?
Full count. And here's the pitch. And now you're going to get her on that outside corner, so that will end the inning, but not without the damage done. Carbon Dinos go up 1-0. We will go into the top of the 7th inning.
Town & Country Home Mortgage has been simplifying the home buying process for 18 years. We offer VA, FHA, USDA, conventional, and construction loans. Come see us or apply online at NephiMortgage.com. That's NephiMortgage.com. We are committed to our community and enjoy serving our friends and family. Talk to one of our expert loan officers, Abby Ivory, Liz Brotherson, Chantel Bennett, or Joe Nielsen. Town & Country Home Mortgage, proud supporters of high school athletics.
Top of the 7th inning, here we are back in Spanish Fork. Carbon able to score 1 run in the last with a couple of hits and making themselves known to Grand as we roll into the top of the 7th inning. We'll continue here.
Grand County Red Devils in the top of the 7th inning. Our first batter is the catcher, number 8, Lexi Carroll.
Grand is going to continue their run here with Carroll, the catcher, up to bat first.
Lexi Carroll for the Red Devils. Caught that outside corner, strike 1. This is do or die for the Red Devils. Byerly takes the sign. Here's the pitch. Swung on by Carroll. And they're going to call an illegal pitch.
Called an illegal pitch on her.
Well, that will go down as a ball. So 1-1 the count. Carroll stays alive.
Saved by the illegal pitch there.
Yeah. This has been a great game by both teams. Here's the pitch. That one swung on high, fly ball, but foul. 2-1 the count.
Carroll's still battling as she saved by the illegal pitch. Would have been a fly out there to second.
And here's the pitch. Woo, just missed. 2-2 count.
Byerly attempting to make her chase something there outside, but unable to make it happen there. As Carroll remained patient.
And here's the pitch. That one, oh! And Carroll's going to score. Great effort by Vasquez. That came off the bat hot.
No score. Sorry.
Sorry, reaches to the base. That was a hard hit.
That was a really hard hit as the third baseman.
Sorry. That will go as an error.
Who's the third baseman?
Vasquez. Gabby Vasquez.
More reactionary than anything, just sticking her hand out there, and the ball went through it. Shortstop bobbled it a little bit,
and there's the bunt, a pretty bunt. She's gonna do her job and get Carroll into scoring position. So great bunt by Bohannon.
We're just debating here who that was.
That's good. Portia Mitchell up for the Devils. And that one high. First, one of the only wild pitches we've seen by Byerly, and now Carroll
able to
60 feet away from home plate.
Yep, able to advance there to third. Pretty easy steal because, I mean, the wild pitch, they unable to recover from that. And like you mentioned, that's pretty much the first wild one that we've seen. So.
And here's the pitch. 2-0. 1 out. Runner on third. Grand must score or the game is over this inning.
They must score. You are correct.
Here's the pitch. That one high. Ball 3. 3-0 the count. Mitchell gets the advice from the coach. And there's the walk. So now we got 2 runners on, 1 out. And that brings up Rye Wren. For the Red Devils.
Timeout on the field there as Carbon gathers in the center to talk things through. This is the most intense part of the whole game they've had.
Mm-hmm. It is. And, you know, Byerly, I'm sure they're talking to just calm down because she's been money this whole game, and, you know, nerves getting to you when you got a runner on third. It's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. And then a walk there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this next batter, let's see, Wren.
Struggling at
Wren, I mean, this is a good spot to be in. There's only 1 out. Not a lot of pressure on you to bring something in. She might be in a pretty good spot to make something happen for Grand.
Yeah, this is a big at bat for Wren and a big pitch for Byerly. Big batter.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pitch. Here she shows the bunt. She does not pull back, so strike 1.
Vasquez is just right there in their face, ready to pick that bunt up.
She's playing up in their pocket. Coach wondering if she pulled back in time. Byerly gets the sign. Here's the pitch. She tries the bunt again, this time able to pull back. Ball 1. One, the count, 1 out. Runners on the corners.
First and third.
She shows the bunt again. She puts it, hits it, but it goes foul, so strike 2. So now Wren's going to have to go to work and protect the plate. Sure, Wren's going to get the go-ahead to swing and try to put something in play. Here's the pitch. Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
I thought that was
high.
A little high, I guess.
A little high.
2-2.
Ball 2.
That one looked
really good.
Nice. Here's the pitch. That one swung and a miss. And Mitchell will advance to second.
Byerly with her go-to pitch there on that inside corner.
And Trinity Bryan up to bat for the Devils. She's got 2 in scoring position. She's getting some advice from her coach. Big at bat for Bryant. Byerly gets the pitch.
Strike one.
Strike one. Bryant steps to the plate. This will be a big base hit, scores one, maybe two. Ball.
Just a little bit lower than that last one.
You know, a lot of pressure, and we're both. Ooh, that was a hard hit ball, just foul. So Bryant on it, straighten that out, and 2 runs will score.
Bryant with a nice rip out there. Would have been probably a 2-scoring affair if she can get a hold of it.
1-2 the count, 2 outs, runners on second and third. And here's Byerly. That one ball, good stop by Bruno as Carroll had a big leadoff.
Bruno taking a second to
talk to her pitcher.
Yep, talk to her pitcher and calm things down.
Calm her down and
get a little bit of timing going.
Bryant steps in and Byerly gets the pitch from the dugout. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. That one swung and a miss, and the Carbon Dinos will win the ball game 1-0 as they are able to outlast Grand. We will take a short break and be back.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Doctors B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Welcome back to 3A State Softball. This is the postgame of the Carbon Dinos and Ground County Red Devils, and what a barn burner. 1-0 is our score as Carbon will advance in the winner's bracket and Grand will fall into the loser's bracket, and they will go on to play Morgan. And just looking at the score, we knew it was going to be a good one. And, you know, battle of the pitchers defensively, 15 strikeouts for Paige Shumway and 14 for Haven Byerly.
Yeah, great effort by both pitchers, and you know, obviously coming down to the last inning, we about halfway through felt it would probably come down to that as some of the players stepped up and got some hits. I believe Bruno from Carbon, and we mentioned this, but as that last pitch came up, she kind of took some time, almost like just a timeout, quick timeout, go and calm down the pitcher, and that ended the game.
And, you know, 2 hits for Carbon, one for Grand. So both teams, man, you hate to see one of them lose because that was such a good game. But that is only the first loss for Grand, so they will be able to make their way through the losers bracket, and they could face Carbon again. So for programming or for future games, Carbon will not play again until tomorrow, and Grand will play Morgan, but we do not know the time because we are very behind.
Off schedule.
So
yeah.
Everybody tune in to 2A and 3A State Softball on Local 10 Centricom. Have a good day.